We move now to drugs, which I could use some of right about now. A new study by Columbia University shows a growing number of teens are on antipsychotic meds, even though they aren't psychotic. Over 50% of them were given these drugs for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, which is the equivalent of saving money on socks by blowing your feet off. It gets the job done, but it's kind of extreme. Here to analyze the psychosis of America is resident psychoanalyst Abby Feldman. Abby, how are you? So, is it a problem that we're giving kids drugs for disorders they don't have?
What's important is that we're giving them a diagnosis. Life has no purpose without a diagnosis. Or 2 or 3. I remember my first mental illness diagnosis like it was yesterday.
I knew you were special, but I didn't know you were mentally ill.
I didn't either until yesterday, when I picked up my copy of the DSM-5, the latest edition of the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. I'm using it to diagnose myself. Want me to do you?
Do me?
I see what you did there. A lewd reference to sexual intercourse in public. I think you might have a hypersexual disorder.
That's ridiculous. What the f*** are you talking about, Abby?
Oh, hello, intermittent explosive disorder, social anxiety, grief, cannabis withdrawal.
I don't have cannabis withdrawal. And how's that a mental illness?
It's easy. Your doctor can prescribe you drugs to help you quit weed, then new drugs to get off those drugs, and so on, so you never have to actually feel normal. Gross.
Look, I'm not saying people don't have mental illness. They do. About 6% of Americans have severe mental illness, and only half of those are in Congress. But with the DSM-5, though, 26% of us could be diagnosed as mentally ill.
I know. The DSM-5 lets more people enjoy the thrill of being mentally ill. Jump on the crazy brain gravy train.
Abby, our regular human emotions are being turned into pathological disorders, and you're saying that's a good thing?
Yes, the key to being healthy is taking lots of pills. So it's a good thing 69% of the DSM-5 task force members have ties to the pharmaceutical industry. And 100% of the sleep disorder panel have, quote, ties to the pharmaceutical companies that manufacture the medications used to treat these disorders or to companies that service the pharmaceutical industry. The DSM is essentially designed by Big Pharma, so you know it's made with love.
Made with love. According to the DSM-5, 50% of Americans would have a mental illness in their lifetime. You know, one of those is health anxiety disorder, which is probably what happens when you watch all the ads telling you you're messed up. But don't worry, Abilify can fix that, as we learn every day.
Abilify. That's the #1 selling prescription drug in America. Antipsychotic drugs are so popular that according to the Center for Disease Control, 7.6% of people on antidepressants had no depressive symptoms at all. And babies can take them too. Over 10,000 toddlers are on antipsychotics. If they're popping pills at 1, they're gonna be so cool by high school.
Great. Why do we act like pills are the answer? You know, what about therapy? Getting to the root of why everybody's depressed and anxious in the first place.
Okay, overly emotional, sensitive, mood swings. Lee, it sounds like you may have gender dysphoria disorder. or maybe restless leg syndrome. I don't know, but you're sick, Lee. You gotta take these pills. Take them.
Happy Feldman, everybody!